everybody. Let's go Niners. My name is Jason Aponte. Let's go. Let's go. I'm going to wait for people to get in here. I know what y'all want. And I'm not even going to say anything because you already know that man is trash and overpaid. But let's go. Biggest win of the season. That's how you do it. Thank you, Jimmy Garoppolo, for everything I said last week. I'm sorry. I apologize. Thank you. Thank you. In the face of it all. Thank you. Thank you. You didn't leave it up to a stupid fucking kicker. You won the game. You didn't go to the kicker that wanted to leave. But let's go. Forget all that negativity, man. Let's go. I can't believe this team just pulled that game out. I really can't. What a win. What an amazing win. Hey, Jimmy is what he is, but hey, give him credit. He did what he did in this game. I wish you would have did that last week too. But hey, gotta give him credit. Gotta give him credit. Gotta give him credit. That's it. That's it. Gotta give him credit here. This team wouldn't have been in that position if they scored points in the second half. This defense battled its ass off. Azeez Al-Shaair leads this game. Ambry Thomas was a liability the entire game. And you still found a way to piece it together. That's what good football teams do. That's what good football teams do in hostile territories, on the road. I can't believe it. What a win. That felt like the New Orleans game from last year. Let's go. Let's go. Biggest win of the season. And I don't even want to get into the negativity. I really don't, man. And again, I shitted on Jimmy last week. I did. It was warranted. Look what he just did. Look what he just did. Just when you're ready to give up on Jimmy Garoppolo. Just when you're ready to say, this is it, I'm out, look what he does. Look at what he just did. Jimmy might be limited, but the guy got guts and a strong mind. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I mean, what the hell, man? This offense, obviously in the second half, had trouble getting going. Jimmy Garoppolo led 2 drives. He had a chance. He should have won the game. It should have never been overtime. That should have been a win, right? But then he did it again. And listen, I said what I said about him last week. You need a play. Sometimes he can't lift you. He lifted this team today. He lifted this team today. Bottom line. Bottom line. So everything that I yelled about last week, he did this week. Thank you. Thank you, Jimmy. Appreciate you. And I'm happy to eat crow on this one. What a game. George Kittle is a man. George Kittle is a man. Let's get to these donations real quick. Let's go. Big win. Had me stressed out. Yep. Appreciate you, Rich, for that. Throw to 15 was super clutch. Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Jimmy throwing hands with Burrow, KO in the round 12. Our defense sucks. It's only Bosa on defense. Ah, man. Whatever, man. I'm just going to keep going. I mean, if you have that sort of take, D'Amico Ryans was incredible today. Think about all of the injuries and everybody that was missing. They're down to a cornerback that they never wanted to play. They literally held Chase and Higgins relatively close, and the defense sucks. I mean, if you're here to troll, you just really don't know what you're talking about at this point. So, but this defense, man, what a game. Made stops when they needed to. George Kittle. Anybody who ever had a thought in their mind about getting rid of George Kittle, why? Why did you ever think that? Ever in your life? This is a game. Why? Deebo Samuel was obviously limited. They didn't want to push him a little bit too far. That's fine. George Kittle is that guy. He's injured. You saw him limp off the field a little bit. He was good. I cannot say enough about George Kittle. I really can't, man. I'm literally sitting here like the game went off and I literally hit go. Debo is definitely still injured. Yeah, and they definitely relied on George Kittle. Anybody who ever had a thought about getting rid of George Kittle, pack that up. Pack that idea up. Pack it up. Should have never thought it. You should be ashamed for thinking it. You should be ashamed for thinking it. Goodness gracious, George Kittle. Now the focus becomes, what do we do about Aziz Al-Shaair? Is he injured? Is it a lot? I hope not. He's been incredible this whole season, obviously. Paul, incredible performance by our DC, and hold my hands up. Great OT performance by Jimmy G and play calling by Kyle. Bosa is a stud. Man. Whew. Nick Bosa was fighting for his life in this game. He's so good, man. I don't know where to start. I really don't. This game was up and down all over the place. For the people that are in here right now, 6 minutes in, make sure that you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you hit that notification bell when we go live after post-game shows, anything like that. There's going to be a lot of content this week. 49ers have a quick turnaround. They got to get right back into it. Thoughts on gold? Yeah. That. Joey Sly was here. Joey Sly could have missed that for the league minimum. Joey Sly probably would have made that because he can make 50-yard kicks. Y'all always say I'm overreacting when it comes to the Robbie Gould thing. Why are you here? What do? Why are you here? This front office watched a kicker say, I don't want to play here anymore. I want to hold out, as if he's a football player, as if he deserves rights, as if in any ways anybody should care about what a kicker thinks or believes. And guess what this front office did? Instead of saying, pack your shit, get out of our building, and go walk to Chicago, where they ran you off with pitchforks, they rewarded his holdout. And then doubled down and extended him. His cap hit to cut him next year is $8 million. Big brain moves only. Big brain moves only by this front office. But hey, I'm overreacting. He's been good. 20 years ago. He's the most accurate kicker from 30 years ago. No one gives a shit. Justin Tucker is the only kicker that matters and is the only kicker that we will acknowledge from here on out. Every other kicker might as well be nameless, don't deserve a number. They might as well not even have a name on their back. You are as replaceable as the next guy. That's it. That is it. There. And I'm done. I know that you guys have a lot of fun with that, but when a kicker says, I want to go back to Chicago, I don't even want to play for you anymore. I want to go to the place that they hated me at. 10 out of 10 times, it's not even a discussion. 10 out of 10 times. You are not a football player. You do not matter. No one cares what you think. Adam Vinatieri, when the Patriots were winning Super Bowls, they were paying Adam Vinatieri league minimum money. Did you guys know that? So when you tell me, oh, well, Tom Brady wouldn't be, yeah, they did it the right way. They paid him nothing. They didn't pay him a ton of money after he said he didn't want to play there anymore. They didn't extend him and then extend his cap hit. Ridiculous. Anyway, no one gives a shit about kickers because they don't matter. And in the face of all of it all, shout out to Jimmy Garoppolo. Shout out to George Kittle. Shout out to Jawan Jennings. Holy hell, that catch was amazing. Deebo Samuel, continue to put that man in that MVP discussion. He needs to be discussed. He needs to be discussed. He's not going to win it. That's a quarterback award. I get it. But look at what happens when he's on the field. Most valuable player. Break it down from there. Most valuable. Why is it that when Deebo Samuel's on the field, he makes this offense go? Most valuable. Define it the same way, and that's where you get the case for Deebo Samuel. That's it. Bottom line. George Kittle is tight end 1 Tight end one. Everyone in the world, the Bengals, everyone knows where the ball is going. And he still dominated this game. Dominated. And he was injured. Fingers crossed. Everything's good. He finished this game out. That throw to him where Trey Flowers was all draped all over him, and Jimmy put that in a keyhole. In a keyhole. So, and this is the part about Jimmy that's maddening. All the throws that you say, and you're like, what the hell was that? He'll have throws like that. Like the throw to Jennings. Like the throw to Ayuk that would have been a touchdown. That was a beautiful throw. The throw to Kittle that I said was a nice play by the cornerback, and everybody yelled at me about the refs. That was a beautiful throw. That's the problem, I think, more with Jimmy Garoppolo. And I'm not trying to get negative because he was amazing in this game. I mean, and he obviously won it at the end. He did. But that's the part that I think 49er fans are frustrated with. Every time there is a great throw, there's one of those other throws. But in this game, whatever. Nobody cares about that. We're not harping on the negative. We're not harping on that. Jimmy Garoppolo was great. And I can't believe that he led that team down there for a touchdown. It almost felt like after that field goal, the game was lost. That was it. The Bengals had figured out it's time to pick on Ambry Thomas. It's time to throw that ball. It took them a little too long to figure that out. Whew. Still trying to decompress. What a win. What an amazing win. This is for the people who push for Jimmy Garoppolo, this is your game. This is your game. And again, when I get named whatever it is about, hey, Jimmy hater, I still always, whenever he plays well, give him credit. But nobody ever wants to remember that. They just remember me yelling for 2 minutes last week about that. When Jimmy Garoppolo's good, I always give credit. He was good when you needed it. Right now. What a game. What a game, man. I'm just 49er fans, I know it's only 5 o'clock on your side. It's 8 o'clock on East Coast Dad's side. I woke up this morning hungover. Yeah, I'm not going to sleep anytime soon. Man, are we gonna have like I'm gonna have so much to say on Twitter and digging into this. So don't praise Jimmy this game. Should have been so close. Almost threw it away multiple times at the end. Yeah, but they won. Do you feel like that about your kicker? They won. Good Jimmy showed up when we needed it. That's it. That's all we ever ask is right when we need it. That's it. You can be steady, but you need to make plays. He made plays. He was great. He was great down the stretch. Nothing you can say about that. We have not one, but 2 real football players in Debo and Kittle who love the contact. How many other players can say that? Yeah. And let's just hope both of those guys came out of this game on the other side, healthy, ready to go. They're fine. They're going to be needed. Next week's Atlanta, they're going to be needed. They definitely are needed. George Kittle is hugely a part of the reason that this team won. Hey, I'm not trying to be negative, but everybody that loves Jimmy Garoppolo, just relax. He was supposed to win this game. That's pretty much it. George, thank you for the donation. Appreciate you, bro. At the same time, the same things that I was yelling about last week about making a play, he did it this week. So I'm not trying to tell anybody else how to feel. I'm not trying to tell you how to feel or anything like that. But what more could you have asked for, given the circumstances? Nick Bosa, a.k.a. the one-man gang. Man, I didn't really understand the whole Defensive Player of the Year talk. You got to throw him in there now. I mean, you have to. You have to. You definitely have to at this point. Micah Parsons has his case because he was incredible today. Myles Garrett has been incredible. So is TJ Watt. Why isn't Nick Bosa in this discussion now? And I'm on board with that now, for sure. 100%. 100%. Just, whew. I see a bunch of comments right in here about, well, Jimmy put us in this position. And how many times has Russell Wilson played bad for 3.5 quarters, 4 quarters? and then just had one good drive many times. It's not about the plays behind you. When the situation is in front of you, can you make the plays? Russell Wilson has made a career of being bad in games for 3 quarters, 4 quarters, and then getting the ball in overtime with everything in front of him and then just making the play. But y'all praise that. I know he won a Super Bowl. I know all that other stuff. I'm just talking about like the way you perceive people. But when Jimmy does it this week, is a problem? Like I said, I yelled last week about Jimmy Garoppolo. What you gonna say? What you gonna say this week? You can't say anything this week. He played his ass off at the end of the game and he made throws. What more do you want from the guy? What more do you want from him, man? He is in a bad spot, right? We clearly know he's not going to be here next year. We clearly know that this organization understands his limitations. And that's why they moved on, and they tried to make moves. But you have to give him credit when it's due, man. You do. You do. And he didn't turn the ball over. This is a great point by Penny. Jimmy threw 41 times and we won. Defense held up, had enough. I'm not comparing Dion. I'm not comparing him to Russ. But Russ has made a living, a correct living of being terrible in games. He literally threw 4 interceptions in an NFC Championship game. And then everything starts to bounce his way, and then boom, makes a few plays at the end of the game, and everyone's just like, oh my God, look at Russ, so inspirational. Sometimes that's just how games shake out. Russell Wilson has made a career on that. And now it's caught up to him. 10 years. Made a whole career of that. I'm just trying to tell you that the optics, everything else, put everything in perspective. Running game isn't where it needs to be. Jeff Wilson was fine in this game. And for everybody who's asking about why Debo's not being used as a wide receiver, it's because they need him as a running back. I mean, that's the thing. Elijah Mitchell wasn't exactly, the workhorse, but he was forced into it. Take this donation. George, I honestly, God want Jimmy Garoppolo to do this every single game, not just one every game. That's my problem. Yeah, George, I think that's everybody's problem. And, again, I don't want to be negative because this is a win. But I think that so much of what goes on with the Jimmy Garoppolo discourse has to do with the inconsistencies. A game like this, 2 drives in a row like that, when you got to have it. He did it against Green Bay. Went right down the field. Almost did it against Seattle. It's just, yeah, you're in that position because you dug yourself into that position, but he was still in a position to fix it, and he fixed it in this game. All you can ask for is the win. You don't get style points. This isn't college football. They don't rank you based on how you beat teams. Winners move up, and winners win, and that's it. And I think that that's the best way to put it when it comes to Jimmy Garoppolo. Suburban Legend, thank you for the donation. Say what you want about Jimmy. He's a short effing memory for bad plays, and that's what helped get that win today. Yeah. I mean, that's all you can ask for. You can only ask for, hey, okay, shake it off. This is how the game's been. This is why you're not going to see Trey Lance, because they consistently keep going back to him, and they'll continue to ask him to make plays, and he made plays in this game. Man. I mean, all right, I guess we should talk about it. Bugging Ambry's giving me Witherspoon vibe, pure trash. I'm not high on Ambry Thomas. I have never made any bones about it. I've talked about it multiple times. When I watched his film in Michigan, even when I picked the games that he played well in, it's bad film. Then I went to camp. I was there for 2 weeks. He didn't impress me there. He lost to every single wide receiver that was pretty much in front of him. Then you move on to the Jacksonville game when he gets some significant time. He's getting cooked. Now, I will preface all of these things by saying he does have time to grow and maybe develop, but I'm not high on him. And it literally took every single cornerback on this team to be injured before he got a shot. That should tell you all you need to know. For everybody who was like, well, why doesn't Kyle play the rookies and let them develop? Unfortunately, in Ambry Thomas's case, he shouldn't be playing. Sorry. And I hate to be that guy because I understand what they invested. I understand what they invested in the pick, but it was right there. It was right there in front of you. It's almost like the 49ers were like, well, we need to take a cornerback. And he was just there on the list, and they were just like, boom. Paul, that's a good point. You know, he did sit out last year. Not saying that's an excuse for his play, but this is what a whole off year looks like. Yeah, but when he was in the flow of things, because I had his 2019 film, you know, from college. When he was in the flow of things, I wasn't impressed. The Michigan State game that I picked that he had an interception in, he was getting beat and just tackling guys. And again, in college, that's not a spot foul. It's only 15 yards, so you can get away with that, right? And he got an interception on a punt. But then what really opened my eyes was when I watched the Notre Dame game and he went against Chase Claypool. Chase Claypool, I know he's obviously a hot topic. He beat him badly, whipped him like a drum. That's an NFL receiver. So, yes. And the other thing is the book's not closed on Ambry Thomas. It's not. He could easily develop. I have my concerns. Best way I could put it. I have my concerns. And it took all of these other injuries for him to get a shot at playing finally. And that should tell you a little bit more about how the team feels him. So I'm surprised the Bengals did not attack our corners from the beginning. I guarantee you Atlanta is going to attack our corner right away. George, you're a smart man. Thank goodness the Bengals are not that smart. Thank goodness the Bengals are not that smart. I was thinking the same thing in my eyes too. And that's sometimes where I give the 49ers a little bit of criticism in terms of, man, sometimes if a starting cornerback gets injured and a backup comes in or a rookie comes in, attack that guy. Make him make plays. See what he's got. But the 49ers don't do that. And the Bengals didn't do that this week. So, is Zach Taylor learning? But, yeah, I agree with you, George. You know, what I noticed when I was going through Bengals tape, how defenses attack them, when you run more zone against them, it causes more problems. I didn't know if the 49ers were going to do that, and trust me, I definitely can't tell you right now, especially coming off of just watching that. I need to make sure I get my hands on the film before I could say any definitive statement. But when they turned into a zone, you know, when they got a bunch of zone looks, that's when things kind of struggled a little bit for Chase, for Burrow. You have to process a little bit more. It's more about understanding where the zones are. And Burrow holds the ball a little bit, right? He got hit a bunch of times in this game. You guys saw it. The one guy that I was worried about this entire game, and I know Chase had 2 touchdowns, I felt like T. Higgins was gashing them because T. Higgins has a bigger route tree and just a better player. So I have to take a look. So, it's the way that they were slowing Chase down, bracket coverage, zone coverages, making him run routes that aren't exactly in his bag right now. They will be because Jamar Chase is going to be a phenomenal wide receiver in this league. Phenomenal. But a lot of those things led to the fact that Chase started off so fast and then he slowed down. And, you know, why not play Diamador? Is he hurt? Good question, Ryan. I don't think so. I think that this team just didn't like what they saw. And Matt Barrows actually reported from practice this week saying Ambry Thomas has actually looked better than Lenore in practice. And he kind of has his finger on the pulse of the team. He kind of called it. You know, I thought for sure that they were going to go back to Lenore just the way that he started the season and all those discussions. But apparently from what Barrows saw, apparently from a lot of other people saw in practice, Thomas was playing better. Now, after I said all that about Thomas, does that make you feel better? I don't know about that. But just, I guess that's the best way to explain it. We're going to need George Kittle and Deebo Samuel to play really well next week against Atlanta because Atlanta does know Kyle very well, just like Seattle. George, again, appreciate the donation, bro. Like you can ask a question, man, and I promise I'll get to it, man. You don't have to donate, but I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, this team right now, who knows what's going to happen with Elijah Mitchell? Is it the knee, the concussion? This running game is obviously not the same right now. Jeff Wilson was fine today. Jermichael Hasty was a bit of an afterthought. And Deebo Samuel got many carries in this game, clearly, after he scored on the rushing touchdown. But yes, I agree with that 100%. David, thank you for the donation. Appreciate you. The cold was a huge factor. There was so many dropped passes, INTs, punts, missed field goals, etc. A granted football makes this game really interesting. Yeah, I mean, I guess you can say that. They're football players, though. Jimmy Garoppolo's from Illinois. George Kittle's from Iowa. Debo's from South Carolina. It's cold everywhere. Everybody knows how to play. They're professionals. Everybody knows how to play when it's cold like that. Big Dad, somebody give our DC credit. Hey, man, I'm old enough to remember many people saying that they didn't like what DeMeco Ryans was doing. And when I gave the take that DeMeco Ryans in year one is better than Robert Saleh in year one, not year five. Not year five, Robert Saleh, because Robert Saleh's job that he just did this past year with this 49ers defense was the best, including 2019. That was his best. That was his best work. But DeMeco Ryans in year one is ahead of Robert Saleh. Obviously, he has better talent. Clearly, right? Robert Saleh didn't have Nick Bosa. He didn't have, a bunch of other guys on this defense. Obviously, clearly. That's definitely true. But in terms of that third down blitz call for K1, doing what he's doing right now with all the limitations at the cornerback position and being able to hold that offense to that many points, DeMeco is incredible, man. He's been having an amazing season. And say what you want about Kyle, say what you want about this regime and about how they promote their people, but DeMeco's developing, and they developed him almost like a coaching farm system. He's been great as a defensive coordinator. Just great. Amazing, man. Amazing. Let's get to some more of these donations. DeMeco tried to hide Ambry as long as he could. Yes, HR. And finally, the Bengals were just like, hey, maybe we should just pick on that guy. He did what he could. You can only do what you are given. And for the people well, it's him, but the personnel decisions are Kyle. Kyle has final say on all of that. So when you yelled about Brian Allen last year, you don't blame Robert Saleh. What you blame Robert Saleh for is putting Brian Allen on an island by himself. That's what you do. You can do that. But he doesn't make personnel decisions. That's all Kyle. So Kyle thought it was good for Thomas to play. So as a defensive coordinator, when the personnel is given to you, what do you have to do? You have to game plan around that. And I think that DeMeco did an amazing job. I really do. 27 minutes in. Everybody that's in here, appreciate you. We're almost at 300 people. If you're in here, please close out the chat. Hit that like button. Send it up into the algorithm. Make sure that we get more eyes on this content. If you're enjoying it, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you know when we go live. We have a ton of people in here right now, and I want to thank everybody. This is an amazing win to go over. Plenty of things that we're going to be able to discuss this entire week. I'm choosing not to harp on the negative because that was a heart-stopping win. Chris Royal, Kittle is an effing gladiator, hands down. Yeah, man. Again, anybody who ever had any sort of inkling, any sort of discussion about you need to get rid of George Kittle, this hot streak, he's carrying right now. He carried this offense last week without Deebo Samuel. He made play after play. If Robbie Gould makes that kick, George Kittle makes the play of the game. Unbelievable, man. And he was banged up. I don't know what else, man. I don't know what else to say about George Kittle. I'm just happy I get to watch him play football. Football is better when George Kittle is playing football. Even if you're not a 49ers fan. Talk to another player, talk to another fan of another team. Ask them about George Kittle. If they have something negative to say about George Kittle, put that person out of your life. But most 49er or most football fans would tell you they love George Kittle and they wish he was on their team. And you're lucky enough to get to watch him. Nothing else to say, man. Nothing else to say. Brandon Ayuk was incredible. That touchdown was great. I mean, this was, for as many frustrating things as there were, you can talk about what led up to the game, but at times, when it's time to make plays, Jimmy Garoppolo made plays. Brandon Ayuk made plays. George Kittle made plays. Deebo Samuel made plays. Nick Bosa made plays. This is why you have top-tier players. One thing I wanted to point out too is Trey Hendrickson leaving this game was a big deal. Um, Trent Williams is amazing, but even he was having his trouble with Trey. And he got called for a holding. Trey Hendrickson extended his sack leader, had extended his sack streak against Trent Williams. And Tom Compton obviously had his struggles. We know who Tom Compton is, but he has some great blocks. He had on that drive where Deebo Samuel scored, he had two amazing blocks. One where he opened up a hole for Jeff Wilson, and then the other one where he got outside and he opened up the lane for Deebo. I mean, you got to give credit where it's due. Bot Swain Boogie 03. I hope I said that right. Thank you for the donation. Jimmy needs to stop with the high throws, trying to get our guys killed. I don't think that he can stop that. That's just not something that he can. I'm sure if he wanted to stop it, he could, but I just think that, is who he is. So, David, thank you for the donation. Appreciate you, man. Did anybody notice Jimmy G's first ever back shoulder throw to Jennings? I thought maybe he was to try to throw it away and he missed. Ah, man. Why do you guys have to throw like shots at him? That was a beautiful throw. Juwan Jennings was absolutely needed in this game. Get that man the ball a little bit more, man. I know that we hyped up, including myself, Trent Sherfield. Juwan Jennings has to be on the field a little bit more, man. Get him the ball. Ask anybody who's ever watched him play at Tennessee or any sort of Tennessee volunteer fan, and they will heap nothing but praise on him. I think that he should get a little bit more, man. I really do. 7MP, thank you for the donation, man. That's very generous of you. Kittle needs another quarterback throwing in passes. He's forever bailing Garoppolo out, catching those high-ass body-exposing throws. Everything Kittle goes up to catch, I get worried he's going to get hurt so bad. You're not wrong, but he loves Jimmy, and hey, it is what it is. We're going to find out next year. We'll find out next year. So, Chris, Compton is epic in run blocking, terrible on passes. Yeah, man. I mean, it is what it is. You gotta give props to Cobb. You gotta give props to Cobb for scheming around that, for making this offense competent with him. And for the people that were like, oh well, we don't miss McGlinchey. No. Imagine being a play caller, imagine being a play designer, game planning, and you have to game plan around a right tackle that's going to miss on many pass blocks, a quarterback who you have to put in the right position to win, making sure that you keep the ball away from the other offense because the defense has issues at cornerback. Like, a lot of things go into like that game planning, and I think that for as much as a lot of people take Kyle to task, you have to give him credit for the job he's been doing. I mean, Mark, are we like 5-1 without McGlinchey? Yeah, but they would be 5-1 with McGlinchey. McGlinchey wouldn't be costing them games. The one thing that McGlinchey did was he was actually play every single down. And Compton got whipped a lot in Seattle. Who knows if that guy jumps up, Dunlap beats him for the safety. That's 2 points. Dunlap knocks down that pass. That's 6 points. That would have tied the game. It's hard. It's really hard. Kyle Shanahan is doing everything in his power to scheme around that and not put him in a position to lose. He doesn't have to necessarily do that with McGlinchey. And I think that even the biggest Mike McGlinchey opposition or hater or whatever it is, I think they're even starting to come around to it just a little bit. Just a little bit. They suck, but there is no drop-off from McGlinchey. HR, I don't know if I agree with that, man. I really don't know if I agree with that. I really don't, especially in the run game. I really don't. I think that a lot of the things that McGlinchey gets hated on for is where he was drafted. And when you expect somebody from a top 10 pick, because he was taking 9, I think, when the top 10 pick is given, you expect more. But he didn't draft himself there, right? He's been fine. He hasn't missed games. Unfortunately, this year is the year that it happened. And those 1 or 2 pass blocks are magnetized and then thrown onto the timeline. So if you're going to say whatever the record is without McGlinchey, then that's really more of a testament to Kyle Shanahan. It really is. Because you saw what happened last week when Tom Compton's asked to repeatedly pass block when your running game is not working and you're not able to get the ball out as quick as you like. That's the problem. I think that's the issue more than anything. But that's credit to Kyle. And that's credit to this team. It really is. It really is. So for everybody about like, oh, is he a genius? Yeah, sometimes he is, especially when you consider what he's got going on. So McGlinchey is not good, full stop. Jalen Moore was better. Where is he? Jalen Moore was not better. Vance, Jalen Moore was benched in the Jacksonville game. Benched for Tom Compton. Jalen Moore was good at left tackle. This isn't Pee Wee football. You can't just flip from left to right tackle. You can't. It's not how this works. This is the NFL. He got benched, and you haven't heard his name because he was bad in Jacksonville. Bad. Very bad. Doesn't understand protections. Doesn't understand the stunts. Bad. I'm sorry. But this team is right now a playoff team. And this team is right now in a playoff position. You cannot afford to go through those rookie lumps right now. You can't. So for everybody about, well, let's develop the guys. No, you're a playoff team. Playoff teams can't go through those. You go through the guy that you know the best. Kyle has a circle of trust. Tom Compton's in there. But Jalen Moore was absolutely not better. Sorry. Thank you for the donation. Didn't mean to call you out or anything like that. But he got benched in the Jacksonville game. Benched for Tom Compton. Is what it is. He can develop next year. Not a time. Not a time. Wait a second. If he can only play left tackle, then why did they even draft him after they gave Trent Williams a 6-year contract? Good question, Eric. Good question, Eric. Let me ask you this. Of all the draft picks from this past year, who's the only one who's actually done anything to help this team? Elijah Mitchell? That's it. Trey, we'll find out next year. Aaron Banks, not playing. Ambry Thomas, you know who he is. Lenore, played, obviously fell out of favor. Trey Sermon, IR. That's it. That's it. So you have to ask questions. Is this entire draft class a whiff? We don't know that yet. But yes, right now, when you draft people in certain rounds, first round, second round, you expect them to be instant contributors. But as of right now, December 12th, 2021, everybody aside from Elijah Mitchell is largely a ghost. I mean, Hufanga got beat again today. I like Hufanga, but you can't leave him in those positions. He got bad eyes again and touchdown on the back end. That's 3 times. 3 times. I like the kid. I think he's going to be great. You have to play him closer to the line of scrimmage. Stop putting him out there in coverage. That's not his strength. It's not his strength. He got beat again. I understand. Scramble drill, hard to cover, everything. But that's why you don't put him out there. Say what you want about Tart. Tart understands those things. And he plays better. He just does. I understand Hufanga. But the coverage, stop. Please. At least for right now. At least for right now, just chill out with that. Fish, thank you for the donation. Do you know if Emmanuel Mosley will be back by playoffs? We definitely need him back by then. Man, who knew that Emmanuel Mosley was going to be the guy that we're looking to probably save the season, because he's been incredible. And yes, I hope so too. We just don't know, Vish, at this point. Huff is a good hitter, but he can't cover. Yeah. Yeah. It's not shots fired, though, Jason. It's not shots fired. It's on tape. Cliff Kingsbury knew where to attack him. He attacked him. When he was out there against the Vikings, him, Kirk Cousins, and Adam Thielen knew where to attack him. Now, he's put that on film. If he's out there, you attack him. And he has to learn. He has to learn. He has to learn a little bit more about in the terms of concepts, what guys are going to try to do against him. He has to learn. That's the part where he needs to develop. It's not saying that he can't do it, but he was never suited to do that in the first place. So in that regard, I felt like he wasn't put in a good spot. That's it. That's it. I mean, it's not shots fired. It's just it's on there. So, Gustavo, that tar hit on Mixon, woo, wiped him out, man. Goodness gracious. John, appreciate the donation. Jason, I mean the comments section. Jason, all right, my bad. Apologize. Didn't mean to commit Jason on Jason crime here, but yeah, that's just my 2 cents on it, more than anything. And again, could be wrong completely, but I'll get my hands on the film tomorrow. I'll take a look, but from the way that I was looking at it, usually when he's out there by himself in coverage and he has to start to diagnose what people are trying to do, it's not a good spot. He needs to be able to play downhill, fast, instincts, closer to the line of scrimmage. That's why he can have those pass breakups closer to the line of scrimmage because he doesn't have to diagnose much. He can just play with his instincts. And you know what? Maybe he'll develop all that stuff in time, right? Because I know speed's an issue, obviously. But at the same time, he can develop all those things. He can. It's just right now, that's not a strength of his game. It's just not at this point. And I know everybody loves him, running downhill, making plays. You love his energy. I do too. Just put him in spots to win. And I think that you'll find a little bit better. So, Matthew, how did the Bears get a Sunday night football game and ours got flexed? You know why? Justin Fields time, baby. No, I don't have a good feeling about this game with Justin Fields. I think that this is going to be a bad showing on national television, and many people are going to tweet at me about it. But yeah, Vance, love you, bud. Fun watching. Appreciate you guys. So again, 40 minutes in, almost 350 people in here in the live. If you are new here, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell. Anybody that's in here right now, please hit that like button. That's what helps me get eyes on the content. What will help me continue to grow. If you guys want to help, donations are great. I appreciate all of them. But if you don't want to donate and you want to help, hit that like button. Just as good, in my opinion. So, know your personnel. I love that name, actually. Jennings seems like a solid Kendrick Bourne type replacement. What a catch. Yeah, man. Yeah. Get him the ball a little bit more. Blocks very well. Strong after the catch vibes. Dog. That sort of thing. So, yeah, I agree with that. And Paul, as you know, say the word. Algorithm, baby. Send it up into the algorithm. I'm going to take a drink real quick because I've been talking. It's a little bit thirsty in here. But, yes. Another stressful game, bro. Rob, these games feel less stressful when you pull out the win. What a game, man. I cannot wait to rewatch this game. I really can't. I rewatch every game because, one, I want to make sure that I know what I'm seeing. And also, sometimes I'm a masochist. But this one is just so fun. It's so fun. Especially how it ended, how the game unfolded. Man, I just wonder what suit Jimmy's wearing at that podium right now because he probably looks amazing. Looks like the first time that I heard the Beatles. And after wins like this, man, how could you not feel like that about him, man? That's it. Let's see. Niners didn't deserve to win. They need to put Trey Lance in. Nah, not gonna happen. Who cares if they didn't deserve to win? They won. Plenty of teams don't deserve to win week to week. And after what Jimmy just did on those last 2 drives, you're not going to see Trey. Just stop. It's not going to happen. It's math. There's 4 games left now. And the 49ers are fighting for their playoff lives. It's not going to happen. Whether you agree with it or not, it's not going to happen. That's it. That's why. I won't be fielding anymore. Should we? No. That's it. It's done. Next year, you'll see Trey. That's it. Harold, yep. It's all about winning. It's about the team. Go 49ers. Yet the secondary will ultimately be our downfall. Hopefully, this will be a wake-up call for Lynch. Nothing you could do when your entire secondary is injured and you're down to your 7th and 8th cornerbacks. We've gotten to a point where I miss Dante Johnson. That's how bad it's gotten. Let's see. Cam Mosley, this is nice. I hate liberal San Francisco. F the BLM flag. Y'all fly at the stadium when you guys wear Nike. There's Asian sweatshops that make jack shit but Niner game. Damn. You all right, Cam? I hope you're all right, man. The kicker who shall not be named is going to cost us a close playoff win. The team competes limitations with JG. They play hard 9 out of 10 games. If Robbie Gold cost us a win in the playoffs, you think we saw something? You think you saw something on the timeline today? Let's just hope that doesn't happen. I don't want that, I don't want to put that juju out there. I really don't. I don't. I'm not trying to put that juju out there. Robbie Gold contract holdout. A kicker. You watched the Beetle doc. Don't act like you're a real fan. I actually didn't watch it. I'm not a fan. And that's a super bad reference, Cam. I'm not a real fan because I'm not 87 years old. So, don't know. Yeah, super bad reference. Thank you guys for having my back. Appreciate that. It's pretty good. So, Warren, Jersey, baby. What up, Jay? Let's go. Jersey in the building, 8:30. Missing Justin Fields right now on TV because I want to talk with you guys because this was such a fun win. And yeah. Is Sly better than Gold at this point? He was better when he was here. Oh, he missed the field goal. He missed the PAT. 2 for 2 from 50. 5 of 12 from 50 for Robbie Gold since 2019. 2 for 2, 5 of 12. For everybody who loves numbers, those are your numbers. But I'm hating. So, let's see. Cesar, thoughts on D'Amico's defense this year? I've already kind of talked about it. D'Amico's been incredible. When you think about the limitations, especially when you talk about what happened this week, no corners. Aziz Al-Shaair leaves this game, has been your best linebacker all season. You hold that team to that many points. And for everybody who's like, oh, well, they didn't get it done at the end. There's only so much you can do. He did his job. And he's been great for a large portion of the season. And if he continues to grow in the way that Robert Saleh did, because I'm old enough to remember you guys wanted Robert Saleh out of here after year one. If he continues to grow in that fashion, head coaching jobs are going to roll in for him. The same way they did for Robert Saleh, just way quicker. And we just got to hope that he doesn't leave. I'm afraid of that more than anything. Kicker competition next year. Yeah, the Chargers did it when I was there at their joint practices. Tristan Vizcaino against the Honey Badger or the Money Badger. Vizcaino won. Oh, if you guys remember that name, there's another kicker who stepped in for Robbie Gold who was injured. I don't know how kickers get injured, but whatever. When he got injured, Tristan Vizcaino was putting those through the uprights with like 30 yards to spare from 40 out. And you could pay him nothing. $8 million cap hit next year if you want to move on from Robbie Gold. Front office malpractice. Allocation of resources. Completely lopsided. Makes no sense. None. Use that to sign AJ Boye, who could have helped you today. Use that to sign Steven Nelson, who could have helped you today. I don't know what Robbie Gold has on this front office, how he even had the audacity to say the words, I'm holding out. And then the front office just was like, oh, please don't leave. Please don't leave. We need you so bad. Don't get it. Jesse, you definitely will. I'll kick for the Niners for the league minimum. Jesse, do me a favor real quick. I need some advanced analytics, advanced stats. If you could pull those up for me real quick and I'll put them up on the screen, please. I need some advanced stats in terms of what the 49ers do very well, what helps, and what helps them win ball games. You know what I'm talking about. So, all right. Did anybody notice Alshire didn't return in the second half? Yeah, Brian, we're worried. We're worried. I'm worried. I'm very worried about that. So, uh, Niners are in a bad spot for playoffs. Can't trust the kicker in a close game. Can't trust the quarterback to throw down the field in a big game. They have to play with a lead. Yeah, Freddie, I mean, we'll worry about it when you get there. When you get there. Marlon, appreciate that, man. I love your show, bro. I found this guy because he keeps it real on Grant's show. Yeah, appreciate you, man. And when you jump on here, just make sure you address me by my real name. It is Grant Aponte or Jason Cohn, because anytime that I have a differing opinion, it's obviously for clickbaiting purposes, and it's obviously because I am trying to elicit a response from people. So just make sure you get it right. But I'm just joking. Thank you for those nice words. Jesse, the 49ers are now 7-0 when they score more points than their opponents. Wow. That is firecracking stuff right there. If the 49ers want to win games, I just suggest they score more points than the opposition. Sometimes football is hard. Sometimes football is easy. But if the 49ers just try to outscore their opponent when the clock hits 0 and they have more points than them, they have a very good chance of winning games. I hope people get the joke, because I'll definitely have people in the YouTube comments who are just like, I don't understand. It's a joke. Clearly. Clearly, guys. Just get to the dance. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. 100%. 100%. Gustavo, Kittle is the first to have 150 receiving yards in back-to-back games in NFL history. Yeah, there was a sign that somebody posted in Seattle. Kittle wishes he was Gronkowski. How you feel about that now? And he signed it. That's so petty. I love it. Love it so much. Shout out to George Kittle. Shout out to Brandon Ayuk. Shout out to Jimmy Garoppolo. Shout out to D'Amico Ryans. Shout out to Nick Bosa. Shout out to Kyle Shanahan. You got it done. In the face of everything. Way to go. What a game. What a game. Can't wait to watch again. Really can't. Again, we can always harp on, hey, why did this happen? Why are you at this position? 49ers won. What more could you ask for? Who cares how they did it? They did it. If you're worried about future games against teams that will be better in higher stakes games, that's completely fair. But you got to win the games that are in front of you. And the 49ers found a way to get it done in the face of all missed kicks. The Bengals clearly came out today, and their goal was, I'm going to show the 49ers that we're worse at special teams than they are. And they did. They did. Did Norman have a PI today? I don't think he did, Gustavo. I don't think he did. Coaching too conservative when we have a 2-score lead and lost the Super Bowl and almost lost this one. Breezy, I probably won't disagree with that, but good vibes. We're doing good vibes today. We're not talking about 2019 because I was in Miami for that game. I wasn't at the game, but I was in Miami. I don't want to relive that. I don't want to talk about that right now. Vince, is Kyle the future? Oh, yeah, he ain't going nowhere. I mean, say what you want. Two things are the reason that he's going to be here. They didn't allow them to send all those picks for Trey Lance to not see Kyle at least somewhat develop him, right? And Jed York got overruled by Mama York. She said, I'm tired of you hiring Jim Tomsula. I'm tired of you hiring Chip Kelly. We're going to get some relevance in here. And they extended him for a 6-year deal. His offset language in that contract makes it very tough to move on from him. Kyle's not going anywhere. He's not. He definitely is going to get his time with Trey. This front office is backed. The whole idea of Jimmy playing this year and okay, we're going to go with Trey next year. Everything is in his favor right now. So, Greg, thank you for the donation. You need to start giving Jimmy his respect, Clutch. I've been on here for 54 minutes. That's all I've been doing. Yep. That's all I've been doing. I mean, you can say whatever you want. I was pretty pissed last week because, he put them in that position, almost got it done, didn't get it done. But what are you about to say about him this week? 2 back-to-back gotta have it clutch drives. Nearly won the game before regulation and then won the game in overtime. Say what you want, give the man credit. Give the man credit. And this will be a game that the people who push for Jimmy Garoppolo are going to point to, and they should, because of that. And it's just, there's nothing you can really say about that. That's it. That's it. No problem, Greg. No problem, Greg. Just wanted to clarify that. I'm trying to be less combative with people and things like that, and I don't want to come off that way at all. So, and also through a game losing INT that the defense dropped. Yeah, maybe, but he didn't. And that's just the Jimmy Garoppolo experience. That's fine. Near pick. What you talking about? Well, near pick. Do you get points for an almost made 3-pointer at the buzzer? They didn't make a play. Jimmy made plays. Like, you're harping on the wrong things. That's why he's a defender. He didn't catch it. Like, that's it. Like, it is what it is. They didn't catch it. He won the game. Not worth $27 million. Thank you, Sanel, for the breaking news, for the mind-blowing analysis. I don't think anybody believes that, but it is what it is. Like, you're not breaking any news by saying that. I don't know. Greg, thank you for the donation. Sorry, just got on. Yeah, no problem, Greg. We're good, bro. We're good. Just wanted to make sure that I gave him his just due. When he plays bad, I'm going to take him to task. When he plays well, I want to give him his props. Today, he made plays. He won the game. He gets his props. That's it. Lorenzo, Jimmy is finally doing his job. About time. Good for him. Yeah, I mean, that's what you're really asking for. That's what you're asking for. Jesse. No, we're done. We're done with that. I've already yelled about that enough. I'm done. You can't always count on defenders dropping the ball, though. No, you can't, but that's just who Jimmy is. Again, there's nothing you can do about it. It's who he is. This front office has shown you that they are fine with those throws, anything like that, in terms of the other things he does. And whether you agree with that or not, it is what it is. So that's it. Like, there's no point in yelling about that. Even I should probably tell myself that, especially considering last week, right? Like, shut up, Jason. You already know all that stuff. But this front office has already made this regime has already made a decision to live with all those throws for what he offers you and for what he's been doing. I mean, that's it. That's it. He threw that ball, drop or no, right to the defense. We were tied. Yeah, again, Breezy, he did, but they dropped it. Like, again, and that's something that Jimmy Garoppolo does every single week. He's going to have one or two, as Andrew Pasquini, the GOAT, says. Oh, no throws. It's baked into the risk. It's part of the Jimmy Garoppolo experience. It is what it is. They didn't catch it. He shook it off, and they won the game. But that's every single week. You could make that statement every single week, basically. Every week. There's no reason to get down on the game now because of that. They won the game. What do you want? What more do you want? They won the game. That's it. Just be happy. Enjoy the game. That was an amazing game. His throw to Jennings outside the numbers was great. Yes, that was great. The Ayuk touchdown that was great. The Kittle throw over the middle on third down, the one that he just like put into a keyhole with Trey Flowers all over him, those are great throws. But I think that's why you're frustrated. That's why many of us are frustrated. For every one of those, you get that sort of throw that you're talking about. And I think that not only are we frustrated, obviously this regime is, because they moved up and they got a quarterback and they flirted with every quarterback under the sun. Yeah. I mean, that's it. The Juice missed touchdown and the Gold missed kick. We had to win this game. Yeah, I mean, but they did. Again, doesn't matter how they got to it. They won it. Would we have looked at that Seattle game completely different if they go down the field, they finally finish the drive and they go for 2 and they win the game? All that other stuff that we talked about that was negative goes out the window, because winning masks it all. And just win the game. Find a way to get it done. That's it. That's it, man. That's it. This win is nice, but we want playoff wins. I mean, that just depends on your expectations. If the 49ers make the playoffs, I say you should just be happy they made the playoffs. But if you're expecting more, it's probably because of what this regime and everybody was talking about in terms of your expectations, right? They've kind of set the bar high. And think about this. Think about this. When's the last time the 49ers have been to the playoffs back to back years? I'll wait. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. The last time the 49ers have made the playoffs in back to back seasons. Put it in the chat. Somebody Google that and put it in there. And you're complaining about making the playoffs? You know that hasn't happened since 2011 into 2013 when Jim Harbaugh was here? But y'all are talking about a playoff berth as if it doesn't matter? You stop doing the history? You stop remembering who this team is? This team is the most boom or bust team in terms of the playoffs. Either they make the playoffs and literally go to the last game of the season, or they are a losing year. So do not turn your nose up at back-to-back seasons or 2019 when they make the playoffs. And then 2020, obviously, they didn't make the playoffs. But then they make the playoffs again. Sustain success, get into the dance. You can't hate from outside the club. Definitely got to give Bosa his props for that clutch sack to force a field goal. Also, Ayuk for his effort. Nick Bosa's fighting for his life out there. Fighting for his life. Know your personnel. Thank you for the donation again. We just got a big-time dub, and folks coming in here with negativity. We're a flawed team, but we won today, and best a playoff team on the road. An over 500 team. The 49ers are 7-6. We aren't back-to-back. I get it. But you're talking about, like, making the playoffs as if that's some sort of, like, who cares? We're above it. Playoffs don't matter. Like, sound like Yankee fans. Make the playoffs every single year, and all of a sudden, because you don't win the championship, the season's a failure. Things happen. Make the playoffs. Get into the dance. Get into the dance. Who knows what will happen? You could play the Tampa Bay Bucks and Tom Brady gets injured in that game, and then you get Blaine Gabbert, and guess what? You win that game and you move on. Who knows what happens? Get into the playoffs. That should always be the goal. Always. Always. And there should never be anybody turning their nose up at, just making the playoffs ain't good enough. This team lost 4 straight games. One of them was in a row to Colt McCoy. And now this team is in the playoffs and you want to turn your nose up at it? I thought the season was over after the Arizona game. Many people did. Many people thought it was time to turn it over to Trey. I mean, you have to put everything in perspective. Right. Was I expecting to be one game over 500? No. I don't think anybody was. But all things considered, context, how this team has been playing. You're upset with the way this team is right now? The 49ers have to do one thing when they get into the playoffs. They have to be labeled that team that nobody wants to play. Be dangerous. Be that team that is relatively healthy going into the playoffs. That's it. Like, I don't know. An hour in. Thank you, everybody who is here. If you are new to the channel, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that notification bell. Send this up into the algorithm. Help get eyes on my content. And if you guys are enjoying this, all week, we will be talking about this. State of the Franchise with Brad Graham. Me and Leo will be going. 2 Sprint Right Option podcasts this week. Me on Grant Cohen's channel. The content doesn't stop. But after a win, it's way easier to talk about. So, let's see. Slick, what's up, bro? Preach. Appreciate that, man. Great job, Jason. No lie, I was expecting you to take the Cohen approach and hate mad on this win. Nah, man. The hell? We aren't the Jags. Playoffs are not good. Breezy. The 49ers haven't won a Super Bowl since 1995. Who do you think they are? I was 11 the last time the 49ers won a Super Bowl. Are they this perennial contender? Just focus on what's going on right now. Like, that expectation is weird to me, in my opinion. Like, you have to understand that also, how many other quarterbacks during the age of Tom Brady actually win Super Bowls? It's like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan won 6 rings. He denied many, many great players rings. Denied them. Charles Barkley never won a ring. Patrick Ewing never won a ring. Clyde Drexler never won a ring. This is different time. This is different times. Eric, yes, I mean, come on, man. Winning the Super Bowl is not the goal, then what's the point? But stop making it seem like that's so easy. And also, be real with yourself. This team is not possibly a Super Bowl winner. I don't get it. I don't get it, man. I really don't get it. Like, Drexler won 2. Okay, my bad. He won 2 when Jordan left the league. When Jordan left the league. Remember? Blazers got beat. Clyde got a ring with Houston in 94-95. When Jordan left the league. When Jordan left the league. When Jordan was there, he stopped Shaq, Penny, many people. Don't tell me about when Jordan. I don't care about basketball. Who gives a shit? It's not a real sport. But Clyde Drexler won when he left. Jordan went to play baseball. Thank you. That should go to show you. Drexler won 2 rings when Jordan left. Come on. You're helping my point here. Anyway, who gives a shit? Basketball is not a real sport. Not a real sport. Not a real sport. Neither is baseball. But yes, the goal should always be to make the playoffs. And for a team that has no first-round picks, you better make the playoffs. You better make the playoffs. Because losing gives you nothing now. Nothing. Make the playoffs. At least give one extra game. You have no first-round picks. Go another year. Let's put it this way. Is this team closer to the 2019 Super Bowl team or last year's 6-10? They're closer to the 6-10 team. 2019 can't be duplicated. That team was stacked. Everything went their way. Why isn't it a real sport, Gustavo? Because I don't cover it. That's why. It's a joke, guys. Basketball is a real sport. It's a joke. Jesus. But yes, they're probably closer to the 6-10 team. But the 2019 team will never be duplicated. Never be duplicated. So stop comparing it to that. That is a 1-year thing. That's it. It was specific to that 1 year. It was specific to that 1 year. Everything broke the 49ers' way. They had injuries, but they didn't have crippling injuries. The Vikings disposed of the Saints. And then you knew the 49ers were going to take care of business with the Vikings and then the Packers. And then they got home field because they got to stop on week 17 in Seattle. Stop comparing a season that will never be duplicated. And if that is your idea of success, I got a problem because you're never going to see that again. So stop. Please leave 2019 alone. Please leave 2019 alone and stop comparing things to that. It'll never happen. It will never happen again. That's my issue with what happens with the way that they started this season about 2019 vibes. No, you can't duplicate that. Impossible to duplicate. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. And that was part of the problem that I had with them in the offseason. So if you believe that 2019 is the poster for how things work, you're going to be disappointed this year, next year, the year after that, 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 because it'll never happen again. Will never happen again. 2019 is a one-off. That's why you had to win when you were there. That's why Roddy Ricch is the box. Go so hard. That's it. It's done. Stop comparing things to 2019. It will never happen again, ever. Let's see what we got here. Rodman Sanchez, 3 points in the second half, past 2 games. Offense, yeah, yeah. I mean, that was the issue, right? If you'd have scored more points, you'd have been fine. Um, we'll look, we'll look, and I'll take a look at it and everything. It's hard to process all that stuff. It's hard to process that stuff right now, just because it just happened. But they won, So I don't know. Hour 10. I'll say this: I'm having a blast with you guys. We still have almost 330 people in here. Appreciate everybody that's in here. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you know when I go live after post-game shows. A lot of content this week going on. I'll probably hang around for 5 more minutes. I actually kind of just want to sit down and breathe a little bit, enjoy this win. And I think the 49er fans should enjoy the win. I really do. No matter how it happened, I can't believe that this is what happened in this game. If you would have said Jimmy Garoppolo was going to lead 2 drives that would have potentially won the game, I probably would have said that's probably not going to happen. But yeah, I mean, they won. And they won a game on the road, East Coast, everything against them. Azeez Al-Shaair leaves this game, starting a rookie cornerback. Just enjoy all of those things. Nick Bosa is incredible. George Kittle's the best tight end in the world. No more discussion. No more discussion. Jimmy Garoppolo did enough. Paul, how'd you recover from that hangover? Kept drinking. Got right back in the saddle. Kept going. Best way that you could do it. Someone told me, keep drinking. Go to the go to the liquor store and keep drinking. And I feel much better. 100%. No one said 2019 was luck, Eric. Circumstances cannot be duplicated. That's the point. You cannot duplicate the circumstances. Defense was dominant, top 3. Offense had, games where things broke their way. Teams lost. You end up being the home field advantage, getting the Vikings, then getting the Packers. It's not luck. It's circumstances. Circumstances can't be duplicated. That's the problem. For you to believe that in this league, when people change and the parity that's in this league, for you to be able to duplicate what you did in 2019 is foolish. 100% foolish, because you cannot do that. Yeah, Eric, if Kinlaw was 2/3 of what Buckner they could duplicate, but he's not. And you shouldn't expect that. He's not. He's not. Javon Kinlaw can be solid. I'm not saying it's impossible for a defensive line to dominate. Eric, D Ford played a bunch and was dominant. Nick Bosa, incredible. Buckner, incredible. D Ford's not walking through that door again. Buckner doesn't play for this team anymore. You can't duplicate it. It can't happen. It's impossible, Eric. Impossible. Impossible. Think. D Ford's not walking through that door again. Not 2019 D Ford. Last time I checked, DeForest Buckner plays for the Indianapolis Colts. That defensive line, it can't be duplicated. Impossible. Impossible. What is so hard to understand about that? Seriously. What is so hard to understand about that? D Ford was incredible in 2019. DeForest Buckner's an all-pro. They're not there. Goodness gracious. Oh my goodness. Impossible that it's happened for the 49ers? For the 49ers that's happened? No. Oh my goodness, man. I'm sorry. What on earth are we talking about? Goodness gracious. We're not talking, it's impossible to duplicate those circumstances. It's impossible. Right now, it's impossible. What pass rusher are you going to get from the draft? Someone in a trade, something like that. D Ford's money's locked in. He's not coming through that door anymore. It's impossible to do what happened in 2019. Impossible. Again, you can't do it again. You can't do it again. You cannot. How is that impossible? Dude. Aldon Smith. Justin Smith. Where are these players coming from magically, Breezy? Where are these players magically coming from? Where? You got an idea? Where are they coming from? Aldon Smith. Literally players on his team who played with him said he's the best football player they've ever seen play. Where are they coming from? You got all the answers. Where are they coming from? I'm waiting. Aldon Smith, Justin Smith. Those guys grow on trees? Where? Okay. College? Okay. Where? You know their names? The 49ers don't have a first-round draft pick. Whatever. I'm going to get out of here because I'm angry or whatever now at this point. Thank you for everybody that joined. 300 people in here. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell for when we go live. Go 49ers, man. Stop hyping on like negatives and things like that. Just enjoy the damn game. Oh, man. Goodness gracious, man. Unbelievable. But yeah, I'm going to get out of here. Enjoy the win. Let's go Niners. And as always, let's go Niners, I guess. Peace. Welcome, everybody. Let's go Niners. My name is Jason Aponte.